All righty, there you go. Today, I am your host on the intentional parenting journey. Who is here? Who is here? Who has been waiting? Who has been waiting? I am in the shoes of your one and only coach. I have been so excited. Like coach is going to see how it feels to just come be on the other side of the divide. So yes, 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 yes. Where are all the yadas? The yadas with fire, the yadas with insight, the yadas with lots and loads of anointing. Are you ready? I know that many people are waiting for mantles to be distributed tomorrow, but I tell you, the Bible says that if you see me when I'm taking up, you
That's
will
it.
get a double portion. So, is there anybody ready for that double portion of the anointing for intentional parenting? Let me see you in the comment collecting your mantles already. I think I need to also go. I need to see the comments so that I am certain that people are already getting their mantles. Please, this is the time to call people from your outgoing cohorts, from your new cohorts in your office. Everybody stand still right now and join me on this extra special edition, the sessions of all sessions. I will not start until I get to know that we have people ready. Oh, I can see it now. We're ready for the mantles. Yes, yes, yes. I can see this very ready congregation. Those of you that are coming into the yard, aka the incoming yarders, we have a cathedral. You will be privileged to step into that cathedral tomorrow. But for now, you are in the compound of the cathedral. Our mantles can still drop therein. So, welcome everybody. Thank you for everyone that has followed us for the past 90 days. I think it's even more. It seems like it's been the whole year. It's been like our early morning parenting devotional, like a parent called it. And yes, I am so delighted to be bringing to us the Indaboski of all the coaches. I am pleased to be bringing to you the Noah of the Ark. I am pleased to be bringing to you the yard herself. So this is the yard, and the rest of us are the yarders. The yard is here, and the ark is here. Who is ready for today's session? I see Uncle Ebuka. It looks like you were here before the gate opened. No problem. Thank you for being here. And thank you, Coach Marybeth. Oh, yes. So I said it that the Indaboski of all the coaches are here. Thank you, everyone. And we are going to start. I suggest that you have your books on. This is not the session you want to have with your ears only. I need you to be with your books because, like I said, mantles are dropping. Hello, Coach Wendy. How are you doing? The yard of the yard. The yard of the yard itself. How are you, ma'am?
I'm very well, thank you, Auntie Tima. It's such a good to be on this set, on the other side of the set. It's
Yes.
such,
Yes. How are you feeling? How are you feeling, ma'am?
I'm feeling very okay and normal.
You're very okay. Of course, I trust you. Nothing ruffles you. It can't be that hard. It can't be that hard. So, guys, I want to, before we start, I want to say to you that everything, I don't need Coach Wendy to take any oath. I want to know that everything she'll be saying is the truth and not the truth. I am privileged to know Coach Wendy to her bedroom, to her toilet. I'm privileged to know her to her dining table, to her bed. I am privileged. And there is nothing she will say here that will be a lie. Ma, sir, she's going to be telling the truth. I am so sure of that. Coach Wendy is so intentional about her journey that she has two tones of speaking. When she's speaking to me as a friend, she's When she's speaking to me as a coach, she's like, what is it? As in, I don't know how she does this switch. You can be chilling and gisting with her, talking about maybe clothes, a style or something for an event, or talking about some fun things for the holiday, and then something about your child, my child comes in. She will just switch. Are you joking here? Mrs. Ume, then she now calls me Mrs. Ume. Are you joking? Are you joking? This girl is about to do. What are you talking about? I remember the day she told me, you have lost connection with your child. I think I should start with that story. So just when the intentional parenting journey was starting, I can't remember if it was that year. My daughter had, let me just say what happened. My daughter was just 10 or 11, and we had a teenager, somebody that, me, I'm mother of all the teenagers in the world, had come to live with us for some time. Coach warned me. She warned me, but I was saying, Coach, leave it. You will not allow me to help the world. Anyway, my daughter now became negatively influenced because the girl went to fix nails and my daughter joined in fixing the nails. When I saw it, I went, I went bambalistic. I, w- I used scissors. I almost chopped her nails her fingers. I almost chopped her hand. And I was now saying to Coach Wendy when after the thing had happened, I thought Coach Wendy was going to join me and say, what is even wrong with all these children? What is it? Coach Wendy just said, Ma, you have lost connection with this girl. I did not understand what is the connection between nails and connection. What is joining these two things? And she began to analyze. So you see that before she would say we are doing inner circle, I've registered. I don't want to know the title of the program. I don't want to know the curriculum of the program. I don't want to know the details, the speakers. I don't want to. I just registered. I registered without thinking or calculating. So in case you're here, you have the privilege of saying, hey, coach has used 90 days to prove to you that you should join inner circle. Some of us did not have that privilege. We just joined and say, okay, what are they doing here? Because at that time, things were already chasing us. Is there anybody that thinks that chasing lions, flood, Boko Haram, bomb, everything is chasing you because you already have teenagers and you are losing it? Coach Wendy, I would like to start. My first question would be, what is it? I know you're very passionate about parenting, but what is the greatest thing that drives you to do this parenting as a lifestyle, as a life or death? I told her that the day she should not die, because the day she's dying, I will bring parents, I will bring children that have been sacrificed on the altar of error parenting. I'll bring them to her. When she sees the children, she will wake up. So better don't die, ma. What keeps you alive every morning? What keeps you going when you're sick? I've been there when people don't know Coach Wendy to be sick, but her sickness is like die sickness, so she will not be able to talk. The next thing is that I'll see her. Hello, alrighty. I like, what is going on here? And I'm supposed to be like her backup, her support. I'll be chatting her. Don't shout too much. Calm down. You remember you still have medicine? Sometimes I'll have to be reminding her about her tablet. You have not taken your medicine. You have not eaten. When Coach Wendy travels, I travel with her where I am. I'm following up on her because she might not eat. She might not take medicine because she's doing intentional parenting. Coach Wendy, what is driving you?
Thank you so much, Auntie Tima. What you do not know is that this woman right in the stream is a motivation, a friend, a sister, and whatever it is that you want to call it. Auntie Tima is that person, right? That if I just want to just turn and I don't know where to turn to, it's so easy to just say, so I'm able to talk to her as Mrs. Sume, as Coach Etima, and Etima in the inner circle. All right. Thank you so much for the honor. I do not take it for granted. And your time. Anytime I'm asked this question of what drives me, I I usually don't think about it. I love politics. I love leadership. I love to play in a system that works. I love systems. I love structures. I've watched the systems we have especially in Africa. And one of the things that I have seen that keeps me awake is a country that doesn't work. And one of the things I want to do eventually is to play in the circle of the government at some point. I've said that, over and over again. And I started to review at the place where I am, there is a problem. And every time I look at a problem, I'm asking myself, how do I play? How do I play in this system and become, somebody who will impact a system, even if I cannot play at the highest level? And I started to ask myself, where is the problem coming from? The problem was from our families. And I realized that the family, the society, is the product of the family. So the leaders we have are the leaders we have raised in the family. And one of the things that God showed me was how the family system can be reviewed and impact the whole system of leadership that we have. So my driver is being able to see the next generation have a system that works and lead in the way they should. For me, that's my greatest drive. I want to be in my 80s, and even if I don't see a Nigeria that works now, I will see a Nigeria that works tomorrow. Even if I do not see an African country that works now, I'll see an African country that works tomorrow. So I am for, core leadership systems. That's a key thing. Number one driver for me is the place of raising people, which also aligns with leadership. The place of raising kings. I am of the belief that kings are not raised anyhow. I know that if you want to raise a king, there is a template that is required. So my drive is, what is that thing that you need to do that makes somebody a king? So every day I wake up, I ask myself, before I make a king, how do I become a king myself so that I can become a kingmaker? And that drives me to be the parent that I want to be. That drives me to teach parents the way I teach. That drives me to see that kingship, you're not born with it. Kings are made. So that will be my two very core motivational or motivations when it comes to intentional parenting, really.
Thank you, Coach Wendy. And let me say at this point that in case you thought that you were just coming to raise good children, we have just trashed it. Coach Wendy has trashed it. Your goals are not aligning with hers, because her calling, her anointing, and the mantle that has just dropped is the anointing to raise kings. So this is that first mantle. I think I should be naming the mantles for you people so that it will become easy for you. The first mantle that has just dropped, has somebody picked it, is the mantle to raise kings. And that means you must be a king yourself. A kingmaker raising kings. Somebody got that? Let me see it in the comments. Coach Wendy, you are a kingmaker. We have confirmed you won. We have crowned you one. Don't worry about, you're already a kingmaker. Now, we are interested in your process. You keep telling us that you used to be a chronic yeller. I can attest to that. Coach Wendy's voice, Coach Wendy can speak. Coach Wendy's voice, I've not really seen her yell so much, but her voice can, she has a, her voice reminds me of Bishop David Oyedepo, her father. Very authoritative. So even if she does not want to yell, if she says pick that thing from there, it comes with authority. But I have seen you raise your children to become, they are in the process, they are becoming. can you tell us the key things that you began to work with that transformed your entire parenting journey? The few things. I know there are so many because it is out of your fullness that you have poured out to everybody. That's the truth. So if we ask you this question, we're indirectly asking you that give us a 1 year or a lifelong template. But key things that have stood out to you on your journey to raising Ayo, Ife, my children, and all the other children that by extension, all the other Yada's children. But share with us personal experiences about your journey as the mother of Ayo, Ife, and your adopted daughter.
Thank you so much, Auntie Etima. So when I started parenting myself, I grew up with a chronic yella. My dad yelled so much. My parents didn't hit. So when people say you need to hit a child for the child to become responsible, I can't connect. My parents didn't hit us, but my dad was a chronic yeller. And on the other side, my mother didn't raise voices. So I had a father who yelled so much that we hated yelling. As in, we wake up every day, we say, I will never shout like this to my children. I will never. As in, we used to actually talk about it, right? We used to, talk about it in the house. We used to just, and I would say, I will just do like my mom. I will do like mommy, how mommy talks to you, how mommy does it, how mommy. It was so easy to say. Then I started my parenting journey. God helped me. I started my parenting journey raising a foster child. My husband and I were privileged to raise a foster child, and the twins were just born. I saw myself failing at parenting. I saw myself doing the exact same things that my father did that I hated. I saw myself yelling. I will yell so much. One of those days, my father heard me yelling and he was like, Mom, what happened? As you know, this guy, when a seed, I said that when the fruit grows, you'll be so shocked at the
Hmm.
production of the fruit.
Of what
I
has
became
happened.
the fruit of my father's, wrong, whatever process in managing emotions. And you know
Hmm.
what? I started to think about myself and I said to myself, if you continue this way, you will not only lose your children, they will leave even before they leave.
Hmm.
You will lose even your marriage because I was now married a man. Of course, Auntie Tima knows God very well. I don't think you will ever hear my husband raise a voice. Nobody had. Nobody has, right? He doesn't raise voices. So it was like two different worlds. Like something is happening, and when I raise a voice, he's wondering what is the problem. As in, what's happening? What's all this? And I started to seek solutions. I prayed. I fasted. I declared. I declared and fasted and prayed, and none of it worked. Does it mean that prayers don't work? No, it does. But it means that what I was asking God for was already given to me in the place of grace, and I couldn't walk into it. And God just continued to watch me. And every time I say, God, just help me. I don't need to raise my voice in this way. I can't control my emotions. I will scream again, yet again. It was so difficult living with people, I tell you. So people who lived with me in those days, every small thing you do, is a trigger. I raise my voice. So when parents say, you don't understand, coach, I say, you don't know where I'm coming from. You think I'm coming from the place of perfection. I am coming from a lot myself as well.
Hmm.
And I started to seek solution. And I was privileged. I began, God showed me to start working on my emotions. So I started to work on my emotions. And that was how emotional intelligence became an anchor for me. Right now, I can pay thousands of dollars to attend an EI class. That's me. Because I understand that if I do not work on that aspect of my journey, every other thing fails. So I started to work on it. I started to attend class. I started to pay. If I calculate what I've paid for AI courses, I'm sure that when you hear 100K for inner circle, you are going to say, I paid my life to. The Bible said, God showed me the part of the Bible that said, buy the truth and sell it not. And he said, if you are going to walk the way of wisdom, you must pay a price. And boom, I continued, right? I continued. I continued to work on myself. Do you know that recently my two younger brothers mimicked me how I used to yell at the beginning of my journey as a parent? I couldn't believe who that was. I couldn't
Wow.
connect. I was like, what are you people talking about? They were like, ah. In fact, they mimicked me so well. In fact, I held my heart together. Was I this person? I
Wow.
couldn't believe it. And God led me to create what I called, what is now presently the No Yelling Challenge. And I now put up a challenge for myself. And I started to
Mm,
work on myself. Now, before I got to the place where I didn't need to raise my voice can be very stained and straight. And Tima knows what I'm talking
mm,
about. When
mm.
I come to you and I say no, I don't need to raise a voice to say, but it will sound as loud as you need to hear it. So I began to realize that the authority in a voice is not about how the pitch is. And I, continued that journey. And if you're watching me, you know why emotional intelligence is a core for us in the academy. So if you're coming into the inner circle, you're coming to the academy, one thing you must put at the back of your mind is that if you do not work on your emotions, you're gone. No amount of intentional parenting is going to help you without working on your emotions because it's going to constantly fail you. And that was how I started my journey. That was how I continued to, grow. And that was how even our foster daughter would just look at me and say, ha, mommy, those days. She just say, mommy, even mommy in those days. And I could now piece it together. So what you call it's normal, it's okay. It's normalized nonsense. I heard it before. Normalized no, I need to hear. Today, my father will come to me and I'm talking with him and he's in awe. Like he's listening to me and he's like, hmm. So that day I finished talking with him and he said, this guy, what wisdom is this? I need to pay for this, you
Mm.
know. And it was the same thing I would have said and all of that, but I have grown in being able to manage my emotions many times when things happen in our home, all right, and they are shouting, oh, you need to talk, you need to get. I say I don't need to say anything now. And if you're in the inner circle, when you say no, when you hear nobody died, it is coming from me. It is me. It's a lesson from me for me. So when you get all the agitations and all of that, if you bring agitation to me, I will push it to one side because I have walked a journey. And it's been 14 years plus working on my journey of emotional intelligence. And I can tell you for free, emotional intelligence is one of the best things that have happened to me in life. And it's helped me on different aspects of my life, including programming for parents and the intentional parents. So that will be a core, example of where I'm coming from and where I am now.
Thank you so much, Coach Wendy. So many lessons to take, but one major thing, one major statement is that emotions control, emotional intelligence, emotions mastery is the foundation of your intentional parenting journey. And the Bible says that if the foundation be destroyed, what will the righteous do?
Do.
Now, there's an answer. The righteous will go back and rebuild the foundation. So get ready to begin to, in case somebody's here saying, oh, but Coach Wendy has said 14 years. Me, I'm just 13. My children are already almost out of the house. Don't worry. Start first. Just prepare your mind. And that is why the EI course is the first course. Coach Wendy, right?
Yes.
In the inner circle year. That's the first course. It was in January or February. I think that's the first course of the year, the emotions intelligence class. Coach Wendy, how have you been able to replicate yourself in your children? I come to the house. These children man Coach Wendy's edifice. Her life is like an edifice. Let me use the word. When I mean man the house, I mean take they're just two. They're like 100, two children. And you know, we're a group of 6 friends and we have 16 children. Ayo and Ife can take care of the 16 of them, all the mothers, their fathers, including Coach Wendy and the governor, the two of them. They, how have you been able to raise children that take charge and not shouting? You know, even when Ayo and Ife are arguing, this is how they argue. Ayo, what is that? Ife, what I was telling you, that's how their tone is low. They are trying to come to an agreement. And the next thing, they come together in one front. When I used to hear that twins are always at each other's necks, I've never seen. And I know these two from birth. How have you been able to replicate yourself in these children to the extent that even in your absence, they are taking charge?
That's like a whole lifetime curriculum. Yesterday, the governor and I were sharing about our journey as a couple on my Instagram page. You can go watch it. We started this, journey of your marriage can be a bed of roses. And then we brought out our marriage plan and we saw our parenting plan inside our marriage plan that very night when he proposed to me. We sat up all night writing a plan and saying to ourselves, we are going to raise a wonder to the world. Their names are on the plan. It's interesting. The two of them with their names are on the plan. And this happened 28th of September 2008. I can still remember the date. That's the day, that's the day I was proposed to, right? It's been 15 years plus. And I tell you that following a plan is one of the greatest, achievement for us. Now, one of the things that I have realized, the Bible says that have you ever seen anybody who is about to set up and build a building and does not count their costs? We sat down and we counted our costs. Our costs, including raising just two children. That was part of our costs. And we said to ourselves, we're going to raise people, we're going to raise men, but two biological children only. And one of the things that has kept us on our toes is being an example. So the governor and I are constantly trying to become a curriculum to our children. So you don't come to our house and see, theory and all of that and all of that. There's a lot of teaching that goes on, and Atitima will attest to this. If children come to my house, there's a structure, there's a program. You don't just come and just do the. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can now. It froze for a bit.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes. I can. I can.
Can I be heard, please?
Yes, please. We can hear.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you. So you don't just get into our home and you say, oh, you came for sleepover, everybody will just diddy everywhere. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. In fact, one of those days that Tima came to my house, saw her children working, and she said, why is it that my children will come to your house and not grumble for work? Yet when they come to my house, you will tell them to this person will grumble. You tell them this person will grumble. I laughed. We laughed about it. But it's because there's a system you come into when you get into our house. So you don't just walk in. Our house is systemized. I always say that everything, right, that does not have a system, you leave it to chance, to the intuition of people, you leave it to chaos. So we don't run a chaotic environment because we understand that we need to raise a million persons in one. I do not believe in having a thousand children. I believe in having one child that can come out and become a million in one, right? And for us, the place of modeling has been an anchor. So my husband and I, you won't see us, you don't see us exchange words. It doesn't happen in my home. You don't see us fight. It doesn't happen in my home. We disagree. In fact, I can be very strong on my argument. You don't want to argue with me, Seth. We disagree a lot. We agree a lot, but we don't fight. So
Mm.
our children have also been able to live in it. So when you are talking, you are arguing with somebody. It's okay for you not to like what the person is doing. So we've also shown our children that this is possible. So one of the things my husband and I will always do is to show our children what is possible. Now, when it comes to being able to man the house, really, one of the things that was also in front of us in that curriculum was raising children who are independent. Oh, I hate dependent people. You don't want to know how much. So the independent thinking child is actually something I wrote out of a lot of passion. I hate people who can't think for themselves. I have a problem with the way that we're raising children. I have a problem with having a 10-year-old who cannot manage system. So, of course, from age 5, by the time our children were 6, 7, we did away with every domestic worker. So, right now, you move into my house, our children are home, everywhere is systemized, structured. I don't have a domestic worker right now. And yes, I live in a big home. So, it's not a matter of big home. I've lived in a small home, I've lived in a big home, I've lived in a bigger home. So it's not how your home is, it's how the system that runs it. So the first thing is the place of having a plan. The first thing is the place of having a plan. If you have a plan, and not just have a plan, and run with that plan, one thing that you would know me for is the place of consistency. I am a consistent person. I always say that God is a consistent person. As if God, I'm a child of God, consistency is part of the process I must learn. So we sit down, we review our parenting. So everything we teach in the inner circle is not kaluka. It is with exactitude the outcome that we're going to see. So yes, having a plan to run with is the first place. And that's why when you get into, get into the inner circle, the first thing you build is your family value system. We build family value, mission, before our children got into the house. So they came in to meet a system. That's why it's easy for them to follow through with a system. So we're not on the way. Hey, oh, they're not 13. What do we now do? No, they came in and met a system that works. We have modified our systems over the years, but hey, that plan is key. So the place of a parenting plan, and that's one of the things that prompted me to write in the book, Parenting Launch Plan. So parenting launch plan is our journey. We collated everything that we have done in the past years and said, this is going to help a parent, right? This is going to help a parent. And that was how it came about. So I would say that the first thing is creating a system, creating a plan, running with it. And then your children comes to meet the plan because you already
Mhm.
organized in the plan. And you're
Yeah.
not waiting for a child to just run through that plan. So that the child just comes in and sits. So if you walk into our home today, you will meet a plan. So we do not, any system you leave to the intuition of people will fail, including your own intuition, because your intuition cannot deliver. Your intuition is only an emotion. So emotions don't deliver in systems. What delivers in systems are principles. And until you actually are able to create the principles in that place, then it's gonna fail. Because systems is what works. So goal, your plan is an emotional resolve. So you have resolved emotionally to do something, and it's okay. But implementation is a systemic resolve. If you do not have a system, you won't be able to implement, because you need a system to be able to implement your process. And that's why the inner circle is one key place for parents, because that's where you actually learn to create systems. So without systems, you can, love your child, have the intention to produce the best children and all of that. It will fail, not because you want it to fail, but because your intuition cannot deliver to a system that works. So any system left to the intuition of people is bound to fail, including your own intuition. So whether you're running a business, you're running a family, and you run it on your own intuition, intentions, emotions, they are not built to deliver. You must have principles that actually govern the system for you to actually be able to deliver and implement and have results.
Hmm. Who else agrees that this is an on the spot masterclass? Like seriously. I was just going to say that it's sounding like a not webinar, please. Master class. And Coach Wendy is saying these things, and I'm concurring in my brain because excuse me, you see what she said about how systems not put in place will empower you to fail, including your business, your marriage. So the other day, myself and Coach Omolola were privileged to be co-reviewing, I think that was level 2. And immediately after the class, one of the level 2 members was trying to reach out to me. She just called me, and I was, responding to her. Then coach was calling. So I said to her, please hold on, let me pick coach's call. I'll call you back. My dear brethren, by the time, so she was now sending me a message, are you still on the phone with coach? I said, yes. In fact, we have entered meeting. And this meeting I'm telling you about was with a book and pen. Coach is not lying when she says put it. So she was asking me, so she entered that coach mode. So can I have? So can I see? So everything. What when I'm talking, she said, "Madam." When coach calls me madam or calls anybody madam, just know, madam. I don't want to hear it. I want to see it. I want to see it. Now, to show you how this systemization of a person's life has worked, my daughter and I have been trying to, are preparing for Christmas. This is not me. I wish people know me. I'm the opposite of coach. I'm sanguine and I love to just move with the boss. I've had to learn from her journey. Just Christmas, so I'm not talking about just holiday. I was trying to teach my daughter how to like take charge of it so that I can keep up with what I'm doing. And she said, Mommy, how? I just open Google Docs, table. She was like, just for this, I say yes, table. Pam, pam, pam. It's what Coach Wendy does. Now, I want to tell you something personal. When I go to Coach's house, I stay in the first room. So sometimes I browse through. I saw the review of their last holiday typed with governor's writing. Governor used red pen to underline, to check. I was like, what is it? Coach, coach, help my life. I saw the reviews. She's not, that's why I said coach is not lying. I'm not joking. I see sometimes I stumble on their holiday plans. Like, okay, so every day it's what I'm going to do. So type, not not on people are opening their eyes. Yes, it's not written, no, it's not handwritten. Type, written, report by Ayo Ologe. I saw report by Ife Ologe. My holiday to Pretoria. I saw it there. I see their plans. I see everything typed and written. Books to be read, places to go. So why wouldn't we copy? And this is why truly when coach, and that's why the inner circle is not chaotic. Can I say that again? That's what, do you know how many we are in the inner circle, coach? Please, a sneak peek
We're
of how
about
many
three.
we.
We're about 3,000 onboarded as at this morning, I think.
Three, and trust me, I know about 1,000 people will be onboarded today. I know Nigeria. I know last minute symptom. I know how it is. We're going to be almost 5,000. Quote me. We're going to be almost 5,000. Now, the reason why we coaches even chilling like this is because of the system that has been put in place. So for those of us that think that, oh, we are coming here to parent our children, you're coming here to parent yourself. Now, we're about switching guard in my organization. And if we're to do this 2 or 3 years ago, by now I would have been dying. But because the inner circle has taught us how to put structure in place. In fact, if coach asks you a question by mistake and you're saying, are you guided? That's her favorite phrase. That's a polite way of saying, are you okay? She's the honor mama. She likes to honor everybody. So instead of saying, what's wrong with you? Or are you going on? She will just say, are you guided? Once you hear, are you guided? And I'm sure people that have worked with coach understand the meaning of that statement. Are you guided? So, coach, you have already shared how how being intentional at home is affecting your business. I would still want to hear a little more about how these systems have helped you as a person, as a wife, as the MD of clone international brands. All the businesses that coach runs are international brands. Now, all the businesses, let me say that, all the businesses that are attached to her, either by calling, by anointing, by business, maybe mentoring relationships, check it now. RTA, Girls Hub, Voice Leadership, Coach Marybeth, everybody joined to her. Thrive Success Academy. Because you will not come to her with chaos. So all the businesses, even the masterpiece that is our baby project, has now positioned as an international brand. You have been intentional, but we want to hear a bit more of the things that you have done to to make sure that everything that you touch turns to gold.
Thank you again, Auntie Etima. And I can see you guys in the comment section. And one of the things that I want to say is that I didn't get here by error. I didn't get here by mistake. I have put in the work. Paul the Apostle said, I have worked. I have grace, yet I have worked. I have walked, through. Now, one of the things that God has helped me to understand from the scripture is that grace is not prayed for. Grace is walked into. And that was one of the things that delivered me, right? One of the things that delivered me. So I understand the place of grace being walked into, not prayed for. So I see a lot of people say, God help me. Oh, God, please give me grace. No, the grace that is already available. So I stopped that prayer and I started to walk into grace. And one of the things that God has taught me over the years is you do the things, everything you do in one aspect of your life, it trickles down to every other aspect of your life. So because intentional parenting is the way it is, it's scripted the way it's scripted. Sometimes when I'm telling you others, oh, this is what you need to do and all of that, I'm sure some people raise their eyebrows like, are you sure you are doing all these things? I laugh when, I get those, kind of, comment, are you sure? Well, let's try until they now try. When they now try, they'll be like, oh, it's really, it's really, really true. When our daughter started to cook, she was about 6. By the time she was turning 10, she was cooking everything on planet Earth. Right now, Ife is an Ndaboski chef. I can't even cook half of what she cooks. If I try it, I will die. And I know. Ife can stay in the kitchen and cook all day.
Morning to night.
Oh,
Yes.
yes. In fact, she can do it alone. And when she's now with Betty, Betty and Jetima's second daughter, they can sleep in the kitchen. wake up in the morning and they're in the kitchen, and it's so easy, it comes easily because I understood the place of being able to actually walk into grace. Now, working with people, I've been privileged to work with amazing brands, right? The Girls Hub, run by the amazing Coach Tima, on in the house. And if your child is not in the Girls Hub, you are wrong. And the Girls Hub, when the Girls Hub started, the Girls Hub was like, I was like, well, you're not going to run this the same way that every other thing I've run. We're going to run it systemized delivery. When people come in, we tell them what they get. It's not, calo calo. That's how it's going to be. And I'm proud to say to you today that the Girls Hub, right, it's a masterpiece. That's the word. I've been privileged to work with Coach Ibuka for years, the Boys Leadership Academy. And for every time, sometimes if you work with me, you can't be anyhow, really. I don't have anyhow in my life. Because one of the things I learned from Bishop David Oyedepo is not leadership by talking, it's
Mm.
leadership by doing. So I do, I work, and you will see it. I don't just tell you, oh, you need to do this, and no, you see it. So even without me saying a word, you will see that the system you're bringing to me is failing. So you can't even come to me without a structure. The other day I was talking with Coach D, who runs the Teen Success Academy, and I was like, he said, "Oh, I came to find out what it is for the next." I said, "So where is your structure for the year?" I've worked with Coach Omolola. One of the things that she will say is, I'm not ready for the class, ma. When I'm
I'm
ready,
not
I'll come.
ready, please.
When I'm ready, I'll come. I worked with Coach Marybeth. And one of the things that Coach Marybeth will tell you is that that's one of the things that have been cured systems. So one thing that drives me is that working on my intentional parenting journey, right, has taught me to work on every other thing in the same way. My husband and I run the smart office, co-working spaces. Truth is, I don't need to say a word, right? I don't need to say a word. The smart office system, my husband and I don't need to really do so much. There's a system that works it. So how you do one thing, it's going to trickle down to how you do so many other things. So many other things. So people say, how are you able to consistently go to the gym, keep up with the routine? I'm a routine person. I'm a consistent person. Talk about consistency, you're talking to me. But it's something that have built because I understand that it's a skill. I understand that it's a skill. And once you can build it in one thing, that's it. It just trickles down. So when you pick up one thing, you're able to create structure in your parenting alone. That's why parents in the inner circle come and say, my business has transformed. Because you
Yes.
are able to follow the curriculum of parenting. And then when you're doing other things, you find out that you can't just do it anyhow. You can't just, you can't just wake up and just, so you now see reason to sit up and do the things that you need to do. And the teacher was saying something when she was sharing, what she was sharing about our last, holiday. So already when I'm telling, inner circle parents, they say, where's your Christmas holiday plan? Already we have a holiday plan already, our Christmas, planner. We recreated the intentional Christmas planner, not for you, we created it for my family. Because we saw the things that we needed to incorporate. So this journey is first about me, it's first for me. It's first for me. And then it will help you. Systems are beautiful. Systems are just awesome. It just helps you to, get yourself to the point where people look at you and they think that there's something special that you're doing. There's nothing special. Trust me, it is just the place of implementation. It's just the place of applying yourself. It's just the place of learning. I didn't come here by just being like this. I came here through learning. If you knew me, I've always been a systematic person, right? Even in secondary school. For those of you who were my mates, secondary school mates, who are also in the inner circle. But I wasn't this person. I have been able to grow, right? I have been able to put a lot of things, because I have learned. When you are not learning, you're headed for chaos. Because one thing that is not working in your life, the same way you master and act in one thing and it trickles down, the same way you don't master and act in one thing and it also trickles down. So it's trickled down to my marriage. It's trickled down to my business. It's trickled down to the people that I work with. All right. And you just see all of it. And hey, I drive for results. I'm process and result oriented. I am not only after the result, your end product. I'm after how you're getting there. I'm after the work in the grace. For me, that is the very, you know, very key aspect of my life. So when I was able to discover that grace is the work I put in, it changed the trajectory of my life and it's still changing it. I hope this answers your question.
Yes, 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 yes. Thank you so much, Coach. Grace is not prayed for, grace is walked into. Therefore, grace is equal to work. Who just did that mathematics with me? That is a balanced equation. Grace. So when you say things like, "Oh, I heard somebody say, oh, I cannot afford to pay for this, for this academy." No problem. By the grace of God, our children will still turn out okay. That prayer is invalid. That prayer is invalid because grace will not be working on its own. It will just be hanging. And then tomorrow you come and you try to blackmail God. Tomorrow you come and you try to say, God, but why was it? Was it not? Those things are all trashed. Let's get ready. And I want to say this. You're coming into whether incoming yada or existing yada. Please let me sound a disclaimer. Because now you'll be saying, "How these people that have been testifying, I didn't see anything." It's not the name intentional parenting that gives you results. It's the work. If I go to coach's house and the house is jangban jangba, she will not have any results to show. Many times people just, that's what happens when we go to different churches. You just, oh, there's anointing, there's miracle in this place. You just feel like if you are there, you will get a miracle. No, you will have to do. That's why in our church, for example, testimonies are shared and they will always say, what did you do to activate this testimony? Nobody sleeps and wakes up. This is the problem I'm having with young people. They have a mindset of ozugo ozugo. It just
Hmm,
happens like that. It's just going to happen. They say if we drink communion, if we tie mantle, I told my teenager, you will tie mantle until you will choke. Nothing will happen. Go and read.
true.
Please, there's no miracle. Disclaimer, oh, there's no miracle, there's no magic, there's no magic that is going to happen in the inner circle. You will walk. You see, walk. You will walk like this. Do you know what it means to do planner? To do holiday plan? Do you know? You think holiday plan is where you'll be watching Netflix and be planning. You will plan, you will think through, you will add. Look, it's a lot of work. If you are not ready to work, stay out. Because now it's all this thing they're saying is a scam. It's not, it is only a scam for the person that is wishing. The inner circle is a place for actors, 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 not waka pass. You know the movies. There are some people passing selling. It's not waka pass. The inner circle is not for the people passing by, walking past, including the coach herself. She's working. If you ask her now, I will not ask her. But if you ask her, Coach, I saw Christmas going to be. She has planned. That's why I did not need to ask her. I just started planning my planning. I just started my own plan because I know that her plan is ready. Where they'll go, what they'll do, what they're doing this holiday. Ask her the theme for her holiday. She has it. Ask her what she see. She will even sometimes she'll call me. She say, "Ne," that's how she does. "Ne, no, we don't have time. These children, they are just there for 20 days. You know, there's that days, the children around. Can we do some? What's the plan? What's the plan? Can we put up something? Do now, do now, do now. Let me know, let me know. So there is always a plan to do everything, no matter how simple. It was from coach I learned that my children will have outing plan because my daughter likes to go out, the senior one. So I said, instead of this fight every day, can we have plan? Where are you going to? Who are you going with? When are you coming back? Da, 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 da. So that there is no chaos. See that chaotic lifestyle? I trashed it because I used to have lots of anxieties. I used to have lots of pressure. Coach would just be looking at me like, when I finish, I'll come back to her to looking for friendship consolation. She says, so why are you this stressed? I used to go to the market on the 24th of December, 24th. She will call me in friend mode, ask me how far. But she said, what is the problem exactly? What, my friend, why are you like? You don't deserve this stress, this thing you're doing on yourself. You don't deserve it. So I've had to learn. I have had to learn. And so I'm saying to you again, oh, the inner circle is not for waka pass. It is for the actors and actresses. Because now we have a lot of actors. Shout out to all the fathers coming into the inner circle, including my husband. Including my husband. Husband is in the inner circle. Level 1 I for ice cream. Please, if you're in the inner circle, if you're in a cohort, can you go to the comment section and tell us what your cohort is like? I see somebody say I'm in level 1M. Please, because some people are feeling like it's only level 1A and B. Hey, sorry to burst your bubbles. Please put in the comment section, let us know your your one what? You are one what? You are one what? 1A, 1I. Oh, I see somebody in my cohort. I can see 1B, 1C, 1B. Please, who is it? 1J. Somebody has come after me. In case you are here and say, you are not, I'm sure it's by December 31st. Some people, sorry, we have reached 1J. Somebody said, I think I'm going to be 1Z. When we reach Z, wait till 2025. So I see 1G, I see 1M, I see 1F, I see L. Okay. Guys, are you getting it? Are you guided? Guys, are you being guided? The announcement of these levels is showing you that the ark is already by the bank. We're about to sail. And by this time tomorrow, oh, we are just tidying, crossing the T's and dotting the I's to take off at exactly 7 p.m. All right, coach. So let's go to your favorite webinars. I know you have more than three, but I will have to make you do three because you make us do three. So you will do three favorite webinars. Yes, you have taught a lot of them are very personal to you, but I know that you have some that have really been a game changer on your journey. Three top webinars now.
It is interesting that this question is coming. So, in no particular order, I'm going to choose the webinars. Number one will be the skills of extra. Now, the skills of extra was a webinar that the Holy Spirit Himself taught me, right? And through that process. And it's interesting because it was my darling daughter, Zara, Tima's first daughter, that got me to the place of thinking about extras. And I've been privileged to mentor that young girl. And I remember when she was going to go to write WAEC, and I said to her, I said, no, before she went to write WAEC, when she was going to go to, I think, SS1, and I called her, I know everybody have said, oh, you need to do this. Oh, you need to do that. Oh, why are you not doing this? Oh, why are you not doing that? I said, Mrs. Sume, bring my daughter to me, leave her. And then she came to me. And till today, my friend will say, what did you tell her? But I'm going to say it here. And I just told her, I said, who you become eventually in life, it is going to be what happens in this next 3 years. I know you're already doing everything that you need to do, but I need to see that extra that you're going to deliver. apart from who you are right now. And in 2 years, is it up to 2 years?
Mm,
My daughter was prefect in school, and not just
mm,
anyhow kind of prefect, but a delivery prefect. You know, the prefect that when you, in fact, even till today, her influence in the school is diabolically positioned. She's
mm,
out of school, but she
mm,
has this, there's this thing, this influence she has. And that is something that over the years that we've been able to talk about. And every time I would tell her, I said, I do not want you to pass through and you're just an ordinary everyday person.
mm,
I want you people to see, and you're single that even if you're doing ordinary things, it becomes
mm.
extraordinary
Extra.
because of the touch that you give to it. And I gave her
Mm,
an example. I said, if you come out of secondary school, right, and you become the president of Nigeria, you will be remembered with your secondary school lifestyle. Who has happened to that,
yes.
before? You will see that your classmates still see you as, is it not that person,
Mm-hmm.
that one, and all of that, and you're going to constantly trying to make an impression. You don't need it. As an impact person, impressions are the last thing you want to be making, because what you want to make is impact. So, and that was, how the skills of extra started to be taught to me. And of course, during WAEC, we had timelines, we had all sorts of things. She came out with a result. She came out with a result that was so fantastic, and she was wondering how she was going to show me, because she was thinking, this is my mother. Are you sure that I have reached the extra that she has asked?
Mm, mm,
And that was, a big deal. That webinar was a big deal for me, because I've always, my husband and I always tell our children, teach them to do the extras. When you wash a bathroom, do the extra in that bathroom so that it will speak. So the extra, right, is not really about what you do, it is how consistent you do it. There are a lot of things that have, gone through in my life, seen people who do it, and boom, 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 boom. It's not like they don't know more than I do, but they don't have the extra. They don't understand the skills of extra. So excellence is not perfection, it's a journey and never a destination. So people are constantly underrating their ability to actually have a skill to do the extras. And that was one of the reasons we taught that webinar. We told our son, one of the times when when he was in school, and we said, you can do this. He was like, how? And we said, remember that you can do the small things in an extra way. Today, our son is the only junior prefect in the whole of the school, because he understands the place of the skill of extra. I remember that when the last award, I'm not very giving to award, and Tetima no, I am not. It's not something that flatters me. I just want to raise children who can become kings, who can make kings, and who can sit on the table with kings. For me, that's the goal. So we were in school, and then when they were announcing him being the overall best in his set, and the guy was like, this guy is a young man that when you sit down with him, he speaks with so much depth. He talks like an old man. Oh, by the way, my big brother, Pastor May, also mentors our son directly. And you see that when he walks into the house, the first thing we say is, are you sitting? I don't understand. Your mentor is walking. As in, are you on the chair? You stand up now. So little things, the extra is what distinguishes you. And when the guy who had the mic, right, said that thing, he said, oh, this boy, when you listen to him, he talks like a grandfather. That's how our son talks. Because there is an extra that he delivers all the time. Every time I'm talking with our daughter, my husband and I will say, what is that thing that you can do that is different from what every other person gives?
Mm.
Ordinary people do not raise extraordinary people. There must be something extra for you to give, for you to raise extraordinary people. If you do not understand the process of king making, you cannot make a king. Because king makers are the ones that enthrone kings. And let me say this categorically in this webinar: men enthrone kings. God calls a king, but it's men that enthrone kings. Men enthrone kings. And if you understand it, then you will know that you are the one, you are the builder of a king in your process as a parent. So the skills of Estra, and I'm sure that if you're in the inner circle, the skills of Estra was, it came with a fire people couldn't understand, because it was what we call prophetic scribbling. It was scribbled to me. I woke up and I heard it, and I wrote it and I taught it. And then when I ask, every time that I get that kind of thing, I always ask God, have I done this? I don't teach what I don't do. And it was when the example of Sarah was given to me. I always ask, where have I exemplified it? When our foster daughter went for NYC, she was one of the best coppers in Nigeria. Not because she wanted to make an impression, but because she understood the skills of Estra. So the skills of Estra is a different, is a different work. I don't even think I can, finish talking about it. I'm sure that if you sit down with that webinar again, you will understand what I'm saying, giving insight with it to it now. Another webinar that is a game changer for me is honor as a skill. So of course, it is in no this thing that there's no doubt that honor as a skill uh, hits the way that it hits in the academy. God taught me honor, schooled me through it. I had to walk through the journey to understand it. And boom, we were walking through that journey. And I learned it very early, so it helped me a lot. It has helped my marriage. I was teaching the women in the masterpiece mentorship program. One of project, one of one of my expressions. I call it my prophetic expression. That's what I call the masterpiece project. And I was teaching and I said that God showed me that my husband was my kingmaker, and I would need to understand that a person is not just a person. There is a God in a person. And that changed my mentality about understanding honor in deeper places. So honor has helped me to walk into places. It has kept me in a system that looked like that's not how it works. So because also we raise children with so much emphasis, all right, so much emphasis on how they need to obey you. God started to teach me that it's not obedience that delivers. Because honor is a principle, obedience is a rule. Rules are meant to be tried, values are meant to be lived. So your children will try the rules and they will go against it because they are human beings. So that's where obedience is. So disobedience in parenting is not a problem. What is the problem is rebellion, and that has to do with honor. So it is principles that actually deliver. Obedience is an emotion again. So it's just I wanted to baby, baby. So there's an ego that comes to you for obedience. But there is a pride that goes to the person who honors. So principles, it's about, right? It's about the person living it. Their values. So it's not about the next person. It's about you. So when I started, trying to live it, trying to understand it, it helped me to teach, what it really means. So our children disobey. Disobedience is not the problem, but they are not rebellious. They're very honorable, extremely honorable, right? our daughter will walk up first. Sometimes Auntie Tima is saying something, and Ayo is walking up to her and say, Auntie Tima, can we let's look at this way, and in the most honorable way ever. So my children learn to say no, and yet learn to honor. So it is that place of understanding that rules are to be tried, honor that the values are to be lived. Honor is a value. Everything you order, other things they are now put, they are all rules. So when you put in rules, and I started to understand that slaves obey, kings honor, and that was a game changer. So you just obey. You want to obey because you want to just make the next person feel good. No, 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 no. Honor is about you. It's not about the next person. So honor as a skill for me is it's an amazing place. It's a great place. And your team, I'm going to mention two more webinars, and I'm taking permission from you to actually be able to do that. All right.
Oh
Am
my
I
God.
led?
Okay,
Okay.
ma.
Thank you so much, Ma. So yes, obedience evokes ego in the heart of the giver. Yes, honor gives pride to the giver. So it is about being able to distinguish these two, and it has helped us to raise children who can stand the test of times and yet seen as very honorable as well. So honor is a code. So when people come to me, I was listening to my husband. We're having a conversation this morning where Papa, of course, if you listen to me, you know that Bishop David Oyedepo is my father. Where Papa, right, was saying that T.L. Osborne told him to come and pray for him. He said, sir, I cannot pray for you. I can only pray with you. Can I pray for? After that, I don't understand. As who? So the place of honor, right? The place of honor puts you at a pedestal where people can't catch you. So the other day, my mentor told me to come and do giving clarity session. I said, no, sir. I will come and we will look at how we will do it. And then he had a good laugh. So the place of honor changes the game for you, right? It transforms you. I see quite a number of people, even when they want to talk to me, you see, people talk in the most dishonoring way ever. It's not because they do it intentionally, it is because they do not know. All right, it's because they do not know. So that would be the second webinar. Another webinar that was very insightful for me, maybe because I also create these webinars, I know it can also be very this thing to choose. Every single one of those webinars has something that it was specifically targeted to us. But another one would be creating sibling mentorship programs. So I am mentioning the webinars that we are not, you can't find it anywhere. All of our webinars, you can't find it anywhere. Creating sibling mentorship program was one webinar that was impactful to me personally because I have a set of twins. So you remember that I don't have sibling, the older and the younger one luxury. Unlike many people who have that luxury, I don't. So I needed to learn, how do I create a mentorship program that is going to help my children preserve what it is that they have? I know many times people say that, oh, children are going to be love themselves. That's an error in itself because they are siblings. That's an error. If you don't intentionally create it, and if you also do not intentionally create a mentorship system, they won't find themselves valuable because every relationship thrives on value, growth, value, not love. Love as an emotion doesn't deliver. It's just an emotion. It can't deliver to the longevity of the thing, to how it's going to last. So I saw that as a game changer for me, and that's because God showed me. I have a younger brother who is 10 years old. I'm 10, almost 10 years older. And today, my younger brother is, he's there. He does impact like me. He walks like me. And, so it is a place of, so I call it the 7-year collapse strategy. So the 7-year collapse strategy for me was in that place of when your children now all become adults. Because for me and my youngest brother, there's a 7 years collapse strategy. We are now like friends. My friend, he calls my friends and they talk. And hey, Satetima, they talk, I don't even know where. The other day, it was I've not spoken to my brother in like 2 weeks, and I saw him teaching. I saw Tetima putting screenshot of him teaching in one of the girls' home classes, and I was like, "Ah, where is my brother?" Tetima said, "I saw him on Impact Highway." That's how Impact Highway started. And so he has been able to right go through all of that, and now he's now connecting with people at the same level where I connect. Now, where is what keeps that relationship together? What brings that thing where you're going to say, "Oh, this is my elder sister"? So I started to teach parents the place of bringing value to relationship, including sibling relationship. So we invoke the mentorship process between the twins. So you know, we have the twins working for themselves. And another thing that happened to me with the 7 years collapse strategy was my mom and his oldest brother. My mom's oldest brother was in government for 60 years. He was Nigerian ambassador to United States. He was the president of Hannes Antigua until he died sometime this year. Now, I saw my mom and and his sisters start to struggle when their brother became their brother. So it is their brother, yes. But what I learned is that honor is not in the oh, I used to know this person. It is the testament, right? It is in the testament of what that person has been able to deliver. It doesn't matter who that person is. And I want to say this categorically on this session, right, with my friend at the Etima. And the Etima will be one of the people who have seen this mandate from the start. And I tell you an interesting story. One of those days, she had driven to my house, sat down with me, and she said, "I heard your name when I was praying. I don't know what it is, but God has said to me that you have a global stage and you're still here." At this time, I was working for an international organization. What the heck is she talking about? Global stage, I have it already. I've been there, done that kind of feeling. And then she was like, so my friend is my spiritual director. And then she was like, "Oh, I've prayed. In my mind, I was like, excuse you. But you know what? Those words were spoken to me directly, and I heard it. And of course, that is part of the betting, right, of the TIP Academy as a whole. But this woman seated here will carry my bag if I need to be on stage. The translation wows me. I don't know how she does it. So if it's by age, she's way older than I am, for the records. I will be doing something. She just takes a position, the servanthood position. Somebody was asking me, "Oh, you did this for, anti-intimacy." I said, "I don't go there, please. Please don't go there. You don't even know half of it." And that for me, that's the understanding of what honor is. And she said something to me one of those. He said, "I knew when you transformed. I would be stupid to just watch and just say, I know this person. I don't know you in that way. I know you as my friend, but I do not know you in that way." Right. So it's such an honor to see that. So I digress. Permit me. Thank you so much for the permission. And it is something that I do not take for granted in any way. My friend takes the posture. When you say the posture of honor, as in it's sometimes she's doing something. So I'm like, beg. and she will say, "You don't know that you're not supposed to do this." I said, beg. Honestly, thank you so much for that. And shout out to Coach Ibuka, Coach Omolola, Coach T, Mary Bird. I've worked with these people closely, and yet the honor they deliver is on another level. I can't even say all of it. I can't say all of it. Recently, I had a small beef for Coach T, and how he solved that problem. The other day, I was thinking at my husband. I was talking to my husband. I said, "How did he even get around it?" Omo, Coach D, shout out to you. Because I don't shoes would have been able to get around it somehow. But somehow, it just exemplifies the things that have happened over the years. And thank you again for being in my corner. And so let us go back. So the sibling mentorship process was a key aspect of my journey because it's so key. I'm going to give a vivid example we can learn from. Our daughter was crushing on a boy in school. And then, she would just crush on the boy, and just talk about it and blah, 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 blah. And then she now found out that, there's something like a mentorship program that we run. I think I need to go and talk to my brother about this. Let's know how we're going to be solving the problem, Abby. So she went to the brother and said, there's this boy I am crushing on. Do you know the brother's answer? I've shared this with of my stories. So that was as a result of sibling mentorship program, really. And our son said, Ife,
Evil.
Ife.
Evil.
And that was
Evil.
in sibling mentorship program is a place of accountability. So that jolted her back to reality. Like, what are you saying is evil now? And you started, what are you saying? Why are you crushing on this person? Like, And I said, when they told me the story, when they got back to school, from school, I said, Ayo, is that the what you could offer? Say, mommy, at that point, I was honestly confused. Like, how? So that's a good example of the mentorship program, the place of accountability. So our children have been taught to be accountable to themselves. All right. So not just in the place of us being there. All right. If you need to be there for your children to know what they need to do. All right. Your children to know what they need to do. Trust me, you will not. You are not successful. So these are some of the things that have been put in place and help them. And of course, they were able to now throttle together, work out what they needed to do, and Ife was able to deal with that. So when they were telling me that story, it was reported speech.
Mm.
It was reported speech. It wasn't something I needed to, hey, ooh, oh, hey, my daughter not liked one boy. Oh, I want to pray. Sometimes we haven't prayed and disturb heaven for what is not important because you lack knowledge. All right? You don't need to. And that was one key thing about the sibling mentorship program. Our daughter struggles with maths, right? And when we say struggle, we're talking about 90. So it's not like she fails maths. My children are pretty good with maths. Ayo does 100% in maths most of the times. So one of the things we did was to move Ife from where she was in her 90 to begin to throttle above 90 to tell her, okay, so you're going to be, I was like, okay, I will start teaching. I will start teaching her. And the beautiful thing, we've been able to create this system amongst my friends' children who also, go to the same school. So we are able to say, are you looking out? So someone, Ayo, who are math gurus in their set, started to sit down with Ife and teach her. So the last time I was in school, I was like, I did 10 over 10 in math, so it's not even that hard anymore. I was like, oh, mom, 10 over 10. So that's what mentorship does because there are things that you will not be able to actually do yourself. And how do you not get siblings to believe in themselves to actually be able to now deliver on it? So that's what the sibling mentorship program is about. And of course, in the inner circle, that's one of the things that you will learn. You will understand that even your 3-year-old can mentor your 1-year-old. And I'm going to talk about peace as a skill. Peace as a skill is a game changer for me. Of course, I am a believer of peace. People say, oh, your life is so perfect. Oh, you have a perfect life. Oh, everything is perfect. I say, no, I have a perfect perspective to life. My life is not perfect. The only thing that is perfect about my life is the perspective I have. And trust me, I have a perfect perspective. You can't ruffle me. My friend is here. Ask her. You cannot ruffle. Anything that ruffles me, that must be really deep. You cannot, even if somebody dies today, I won't get ruffled because I have been able to build the skills of peace. And shout out to Coach D, who taught that in a particular webinar in the inner circle. All right. Peace as a skill was It was in the seeing the place, that peace as a skill, what it is that peace can do. And of course, we're not going to leave here without mentioning the seasons of life. After listening to that webinar, Coach Omolola, I had to call her and I said, this is not how, I don't understand how we're talking about these seasons of life. We've spoken about seasons of life. So these two webinars are webinars that, because these are people that I work with, these are people that I mentor. We've spoken about it for like maybe a year, two. We will come, we'll discuss it, we will throw different things, and all of that. And hey, we will all, put all of these things together. When they now share it, in that perspective, it just delivers. It just delivers differently. So Coach Malala was able to bring perspective to all of the conversations I've had with her personally, and also some other people over the years. She just put you know she just put everything together. I remember that Koji and I had analyzed the life of King Solomon for so long that we started to now say, Solomon just knew the skills of peace. So that will be right. That will be my top webinars. Of course, there are all the webinars, and I'm looking at the curriculum, and I'm like, oh, the webinars. Which one will I? Let me stop
Mm-hmm.
here. Before Tetima will answer me. Thank you.
Coach, you mentioned like 7 webinars. Seven. Seven.
Oh,
It's almost seven. It's like seven.
hey, the Lord will help
Like,
me.
in fact, we even created another webinar while you were mentioning these other webinars. Thank you so much. And truly, I do this, the things that I do for you. I just, I don't know how to put it. It's stressless. I'm not overthinking it. I'm not. I remember your last trip to Lagos because you had changed your PAs, and usually the former one always knew what to do. I just called him to just check it out. I called this new one. She was like, "Coach is going to drink tea before she goes to." I said, sorry, she's going to drink tea before she goes to speak, madam. Can you make sure she eats? He said, I want to go to her room and go and ask. I say, you will do no such thing. You will go to the restaurant, you will check what is there. As you are going to her room, don't you see how she speaks? She only drinks tea in the office when she's in tea. I be talking to. When she's out, she just what is tea? She's going to go and stand and talk for like 3 hours, and you say she's going to drink tea. You want the girl just say, okay, ma. What is that? So yeah, these things just come to me. They just come to me firstly. Coach is going to be in Canaan land. I've worked out her itinerary. In fact, the other the governor said, Mrs. Ume, I think you make a very good. I think you make a very good. What do they call these people that do travel planning? I think you make a very good of that. I said, oh, it's just like the way coach helps me do some styling. She's the one that styled what I'm wearing. So we have some coded passion that we have not developed into business. Coach is the one that styled what I'm wearing. A very nice stuff. It was the coach that styled it for me. So I do it with all pleasure, planning her itinerary. She's going to Lagos the whole of next week, how she's moving, where she's staying, what is going on. I've got it all covered. And yes,
And
I'm
it's,
the only
and
one
it's interesting to say that I know nothing about that trip.
who
Funny
doesn't know. She
enough,
just find
I
herself where
say,
she's supposed to
I'm
be.
just going to find myself in
It's
that place.
fine.
Thank you so much,
It
Auntie.
is fine. So yes, thank you so much for that. We're going to end with your top 3 books. I know that Raising an Independent Thinking Child is one of them. So can you tell us the other two? Because you already told
So
us.
that we can just run up. Okay, I
You,
see you,
you
Coach
have already
Ebuka.
told us. You have already told us from the beginning. Independent thinking is one. Just tell us the other two, ma.
Alrighty, thank you so much. Coach Ebuka just reminded me we were on a flight together, Coach Ebuka and I, and we had to do some roughly. We had to enter bike. We had to. So when we got to a place, I was laughing. Coach Ebuka was looking at me like, Mama, what is? I said, but I don't get it. Is it that we fly today or we fly tomorrow? Either way, Sha, we will be
Nobody's
alright.
dying.
Nobody died. Should be his flight, and
And
the
Ebuka
funny thing.
videoed you. Ebuka, I
Ebuka
saw
video
that
me, but
video.
I'm telling
Coach,
you,
I saw
I
that
was in
video.
a bike and I just turned and I saw Ebuka video me. I just
Ebuka
started
was
laughing.
videoing my
I
friend
was
on a bike
laughing.
and coach. Oh my god, Ebuka. Ebuka, I'm coming for you. You're busy collecting flowers in the comments. I'm coming with fire for you, not flower.
Alrighty, so this is raising independent thinking child. will
Mm.
be one of my favorite books for obvious reasons. I told you that I don't like foolish people. That's why that story of the foolish virgins, the way I've analyzed it there, I hate foolish people, as in foolishness. I hate anyhowness. I don't like it. Anything that is anyhow just peppers me. There's something just pinches my body. I just don't like it. So raising an independent thinking child is a key one for me, right? Is a key one for me. That's one. And if you read the independent thinking child, you will know that this is it came from another place. One of the books that is very impactful, that changed my life, is Connect to Correct.
Mm.
Connect to Correct changed my life before it changed any other person's life. So when I wrote Connect to Correct, I put it in the bushel, under the bushel. You know how you light a light and put it under the bushel? It was on my system. I wrote it, I finished writing it, and then I gave it to my husband to read. My husband read it and said, "Who are you?" And who did you become? Like, what's happening here? And I remember that leaving the words in Connect to Correct was written for me. Remember, sometimes when I would do something, I would flip. My husband would say, "But parenting is about you, not the child." Remember how your quote is quoted to you. Hey! So when parents fight me, how can you say parenting is about me? I say, I understand. I get it. I think that God worked me through this journey to actually be able to make me see you. Because if I didn't walk the journey that I've walked, when you say some things, you say, I won't be able to connect. But trust me, I connect. And when I say that I'm rooting for you, I am rooting for you, honestly, because I know where it is that I'm coming from. So, of course, it's a book of being able to connect, being able to correct. So, I had to understand a lot of things. A lot of things needed to happen to me. And that was the very book. So, it was transformational for me. My third book, apart from coming to come and talk about the ones that are launched today, is Parenting Launch Plan. I don't know if I want to call it a
Mm.
book. I'm a structure person. I'm a systems person. So this book is a on top burner for me. So anytime that I see people doing things, parenting without a plan, and I'm triggered. When I see parents do some things, that to the point of marriage, I see people make marriage mistakes. Recently, I was talking to someone that is close to me, and the son, is trying to get married, and she's trying to say this is not the kind of person that she should marry. They are dating and all. But I say you're late, ma. You're late.
Mm.
If you started when you should start, you will not have this problem. You see that he pleased down me, that
Mm.
Samson did, is because
Mm.
of unimplementation of the plan that he was given. Right? So when the came, he said, "Yeah, go and bring me the girl." The father didn't instruct. There was no laid down plan to where it is that he can go and he cannot go. And what happened to Samson? They barbered his head and they removed his eyes. So if you do not create a plan and a system, your parenting is null and void. See, it is not about, you can read anything, all right? You can be anything and you can read anything. But if you do not have a plan, even God, the masterpiece himself, is a plan structured person. Is a plan structured person. And Fatima, let me add one last one. And
Aha, coach. You see how this thing is always hard. Sure, you used
hell,
to ask us
I
for
can
free.
feel,
You
I
should
cannot
not say,
feel the
coach, no,
sweet. And when people
you
are talking,
can feel it.
why can't you just stop, stop, stop,
Calm
stop?
down. It's not
All
always
right.
easy.
And I'm going to just, because we've not launched it, but we're going to launch it today. Discipline is not an
Mm.
emergency. This is one of my best publications ever. I'm a disciplined person. I understand that there's a misinterpretation of discipline in our time, and I'm focused on discipline. If you tell me now to talk about discipline, we'll not go. We'll not go. And then we'll be here. I will talk, hey, discipline. That's why the first time Auntie Tima came to me and I said, you have lost connection with that child. Because we think that he's just the emotion. And one of the reasons a lot of us battle, right, with consistency, right, is because of lack of discipline. So we were not taught. We were taught reactivity. We were not taught responsibility. So it's my pleasure to write books on discipline. I've written, this will be the third book on discipline, and I have a mandate to write in discipline on discipline over and over again. Even parents are going to, you're going to benefit from this book more than your child will. More than your child will. Discipline is not an emergency for me. It's one of those books. I needed to just mention that. Even though that, um, even though that the books will be launched today, I'm going to be unveiling to you the four books you can see how heavy the books have now become.
As
Hey,
in very
four
thick. You are
books.
no longer small, coach.
I'm no longer small. So our daughter went to school. 2 weeks into school, we made a call to her and said, "Feso, how are you? How are you doing?" The first thing our daughter will tell us, is say, "You know what? I'm no longer small, mommy." As in this guy, just in case you bring smallness to me, I'm no longer
Mm-mm.
there. Thank you so much, Auntie
We're no
Fatima.
longer small. Coach is no longer small. She doesn't write small books. We are no longer small. We don't read small books. We now read big books. And guess what? We are happy reading the big books. No
Mm,
whining, no complaining. We just read and we just move. My
mm.
husband was saying to me, please, what are the books for the inner circle? I want to read all at. I say, it's not like that they do, sir. You read months by month. Don't come and finish reading the 12 books you want. He said, no, 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 I don't want to be found wanting. I want to read. I say, sir, it's month by month reading the books. So it's amazing to see how parents that used to complain, parents that were book collectors, are now book reviewers, book actors. You know, they will read a book, they will act on the book, they will do the book. I mean, this is what the inner circle has done for us. Honestly speaking, and like I told coach, the inner circle has now become truly about us. You know, before it was a cliche. Parenting is about you, parenting is about you, and then we're looking at what to do with our children. Now it has now become about us. And by privilege, Witty Minds has been authorized to print the journals. These are the
Yep, yep,
journals.
yep. My journal is landing today, Mrs. Sume,
Yes,
right?
ma'am. Yes,
Thank
my
you.
landing today. And you know, I said, let me look at it. I saw the parent I desire to be, what I shouldn't be, what I should do, what I need to do differently. I didn't say anything, children here. I said, coach, what is going on here? I didn't say anything. The only thing that is here is connection tool of the day, your results and your challenges. So it is true indeed. In case we were thinking, oh, I want my children to now be obedient. I want my children to now be good. It's not there. See the second one, communication. How did you nurture your relationship this week? Your personal growth, what challenges did you face? Goals for the next week is you, ma, sir, it is you. If you have not printed the journals, you better do. Coach said that coach has ordered 5. I don't know what she's doing with 5. Oh, I don't know why she needs 5. But she has ordered 5. Yes, it's really awesome. We had to do it in such a way that you'll be pleased to write in it. We didn't. People were just saying, oh, we just go and put it anywhere. Just give us what we can write. I said, no. Our journals, our books have now become a legacy. I heard somebody, I think that was 2 days ago, say that she wants to hand over her parenting books to her children. It was a
Yes,
reset
yes,
for me.
yes, 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 yes.
I want to hand over my journal. And you're not going to hand over a Jaga Jaga journal to Gen Z will not read it. Gen Z that I know, that I mentor, they won't open it. So please make sure that your journals are set. Apologies, a few people are going to get theirs maybe some days afterwards, but be sure that in the next 1 week, all the journals are arriving today. We just did 500 for 500 intentional people. If you come after, you're on your own. You go to Amazon. Amazon will do it for you. But please get your journals so that you have look at everything coach has shared today is basically about herself. I just had to get her into mentioning the children, but it's about her. And do you see that the books, the webinars are coming from the place of her journey? My daughter listened to one of the sessions, which by the way I started letting her listen, when she said to me, mommy, I have just come to the realization that I am a second generation TIP parent. Hey, I say regab. Ah yeah, 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 in coach voice. Ah yeah, 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 yeah. If you are raising a second generational parent like me, then you will be you your decision to be intentional has to increase. Don't go and write in higher notes, higher lesson notes. We are not in unical or unila. We are not in uniport lasu. That's not where we are. Inner circle is not imsu. Mm-mm. The inner circle is the Harvard of parenting, and we will see it first. I wish we even did branded parent.
Adjetima has given, have collected stray bullets.
What is it?
It's
Inner
not
circle
them,
is
it's
not,
not,
it's not,
it's
it's
not
not,
him,
it's
so it's
not,
not unique.
no, no unical. Malabite and malabresties. I'm one of them. That's not what the inner circle. You know those days now. Any paper you see, you just take and write somebody's wedding jotter. John weds Jane. You just take it. Papa, you're writing notes. That's not where you. That's not where you would journey. That's not where you would journal your intentional parenting. That's not where you put it. You won't put it in higher workbook. That's not where you're going to put it. You put it in, and every year. In fact, coach, just to surprise you, we added something. Your parenting year. So you're going to document your parenting year. So this is 2023-2024 parenting year. Next year you will get for 2024-2025 parenting year. Somebody said that a team has three bullets. You mentioned my school. It is not Uni Lorry, all those schools, all those state schools. It is not. This is the Harvard of parenting. So please get yourself ready. In a few days, you would have your journals with you by God's grace, and by the work we're going to put in, you will get your journals. But please come ready. Come ready. Coach, your last words as we prepare to see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. All events cancelled. And Coach Ebuka was supposed to have a session tomorrow cancelled. Everything cancelled. All roads, in fact, our friends, me and Coach belong to a circle. We're supposed to have an event cancelled. Everything cancelled. The arc is moving. We want to be inside. I had to put in extra. Somebody said on the team, I put extra. I put extra. Oh. I put extra. Don't worry. We're in the level of, we're in the realm of extras. Coach, thank you so much on behalf of all the parents around the world. We cannot thank you enough. We cannot thank you enough for allowing us, share a part of your journey, a part of your life. If you're in the inner circle, trust me, you are sharing a part of Coach life. Believe me. Believe me. You are sharing in her menu, you're sharing in her to-do list, you're sharing in her marriage tips, you're sharing in her parent, you are sharing in everything. You're sharing in her styling, her natural, you're sharing in her simplicity, you're sharing in her God, you're sharing. That's Coach for you. She'll bring everything out, hides nothing. Okay, so we want to say thank you, ma'am. Thank you for not, there's something I have noticed, and please permit me to say, I noticed that sometimes when people become big, I said could call it big and proud, when people become, out there, they sometimes will begin to look at the people that are coming behind them and feel like, why are you coming so fast? Calm down. It's like, are you going to come and compete with me? No. With Coach, she sees it as a pride. She sees it as an honor that, look, the people that are coming with me, coming behind me, are doing as good as I am, and even better. Bishop Oyedepo says, I want you people to be greater than me in my lifetime. That's what Bishop Oyedepo says, and I've seen it happen to Coach. I see her so excited. She will say, correct. Have you heard Coach say correct? When I just tell her, Coach, we just decided correct. She is genuinely happy when the people that she has mentored are doing good, are soaring. Coach, that is rare. Thank you. Thank you. We celebrate you. God bless you, and grant you more ability, more grace to do more. Yes, I'm speaking the minds of everybody in the comment section and the entire yard. So, ma'am, let's take your last word so we can shut down. We've done 2 hours. When people were coming to have session with the Indaboski, with the Noah of the Ark and the yard itself, you should. I'm sure you came ready. Yeah. So let's go. Okay.
Alrighty, so sorry about that. I was a bit caught off. Thank you so much again, Auntie Atima, for being here. Thank you for the privilege of having you in my corner. You know that in the place of leadership, somebody said I need an Auntie Atima. Yes, you do. If you have an Auntie Atima, you have everything pertaining to God and godliness. You won't
Like
understand.
ungodliness.
Everything pertaining to God and godliness. It's been such an honor to be hosted by you, Ma, and giving your time. Right, one of the things that I'm going to say to you today is that good systems make ordinary people extraordinary. Good systems make ordinary people extraordinary. So I am an ordinary person. I am just someone who has built a good system around her. And that's what makes me extraordinary. Really, basically. So, because we don't fall to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of the systems that we create. That's a quote by James Clear. So, it is the system you create that is going to give. So, acting on your goal is actually just starting your goal, just a passionate resolve. But implementation, doing, is a systemic resolve. And the first step in creating a system is modeling someone who has a system. I say that again. The first step in creating a system is modeling someone who actually has a system. And you model someone to create yours. And this is me, respectfully speaking, telling you that I have been called to actually model a system of parenting that works. And I like that scripture in Obadiah 121. The first person I heard it from was my father in the Lord, Bishop David Oyedepo, that says, Saviors shall come out of Zion to judge the Mount of Esau. You're looking at one of the saviors that have been called out of Mount Zion on the mountain of the family system. And it is something that I am privileged to actually give. It means that there will be many saviors. And God has chosen some of us to be on the mountain of the family. If you're coming into the inner circle, and if you're not registered yet, you want to do that today, because today is the last day, and tomorrow you're going to get into that place. You are coming into a system that is well created, that will transform every single aspect of your life. Disclaimer: you won't like me all the time. My friends don't even like me all the time. There are times that I call Auntie Tima at 12 midnight and she doesn't like me. All of the love she loves me at that point. She actually just goes down. She doesn't really like me. I don't push for you to like me. I push for me to add value to your life. Because there will be times where I will say things that you will not like, but they are life to you. So anytime you get to that point, I want you to remember that it means that something is not fitting in, something is wrong, something needs to be fixed, and that is okay too. So don't get flustered. When Jesus Christ came to the world, Jesus Christ, was preaching. The Pharisees stopped him now. The Jews, everybody said, what is all these things that you are saying? Sometimes Jesus even told the woman, this food is made for children of God, it's not made for dogs. So in literal times, he actually called that woman a dog. But one of the things I have learned from the life of Jesus was that he didn't come to make an impression, he came to make an impact. And I dare say that my job is to make an impact. And like my letter to the inner circle parents today, I said to them our farewell letters to the cohort as we close the cohorts today. I said to every inner circle parent, I know that some of you might have been ruffled with some of the webinars and all of that. And I apologize, but I'm not promising you that you will not be ruffled as we go, because you will still be ruffled. Because the things I speak, they are not the words I speak of myself. Most of the words that I speak, I do not speak of myself. And that's why I often say that the message is bigger than the messenger. So if you're listening to me today,
Sorry about that. Can can anybody hear Coach? Because okay, Coach is frozen. Okay, sorry about that. I think that will soon be sorted out. But please, if you are here and you are yet to complete your payment, you have booked, you have made some deposit, the time to make that completion is now. Because as it gets towards midnight, the pressure is going to be a lot. Please go ahead, make make complete your payments, start settling in. God help you, you are not in level 1Z or level 1Y. But wherever you are, you will be all right. You're in the inner circle, you're in the arc, whichever part. Like I told level 2, it doesn't matter where you are. Whether you're repeating, in fact, we have even trashed the whole concept of repeating. We have trashed it. Was Mrs. Joke that said level 4, there's no trophy. And I added, your trophy is actually your child. So by the time the messiahness, like Coach will say, by the time the Savior has risen out of your children, then you have reached the last level. That is when you now deserve the trophy that you're looking for. There's no trophy in level 4. All of us in the highest of all the chambers, the levels, we have all gone back to level 1 for relearning and for refining. That's what we called it. We are not repeating. Nowhere should come and use repeating near me. I'm not repeating. I am relearning myself, Coach Omolola, Coach Antitope, Coach Ruth, Mr. Smart, Minister Tinuade, what's her name? The mother of triplets. All of us, everybody in that children, everybody, Mrs. Rebecca, all of us have gone back to relearn. We have not gone back to repeat. I see people saying, oh, I've repeated level 1 for 4 years. You are not repeating. Can we just delete that word? Can we delete that word? Let's delete that word because it sounds derogatory. You're not repeating, you're relearning. You've learned something, you want to learn it again. You're not, how is it a repeating? How is it a repetition? So there's nothing like we are repeating. We are relearning, we are refining. That's what we're doing in all the classes. So wherever you decide to stay, it's a matter of relearning. Sorry about that, Coach. Sorry,
Thank
so
you
sorry.
so much. Thank you so much. I didn't want me to tell you what I wanted to tell you, but I will still say it.
Yes, ma.
So, like I said, um, just know that what we're doing is we are for you and not against you. And
Mm,
one of the things that you would want to look at is, or you want to do as you're journeying with me, is that never leave your parenting system to people's intuition or even your own intuition. Systems, they are what removes chaos from your journey. So come into the inner circle and come and build your system so that it won't be chaotic. What I share with you, there is no lie in it. It is the truth. I don't even know how to lie. When people say, "Oh, people come online and then they lie," sometimes I'm like, How does that happen? It's really fascinating to me that you come out. Somebody actually once said to me that, "Oh, can you say your 10-year-old made soup?" And I was,
mm.
I don't understand. Do people online and just say something that is not true? So
Exactly.
everything you have heard today, I am particularly grateful that you heard it from Auntie Tima, who have the privilege of being in my home and around our home, and also in my life. So it's very easy to be able to see from the lens of someone else, right? So I do not teach what I practice, right? I do not. I practice and then I teach. I only teach what I practice. If I don't practice it, you won't find me teaching it. There are too many things I'm learning, I'm doing. I'm not teaching it because I have not been able to practice it to the point where I need to. practice it, right? So this is me calling on you today and saying that join the act, join the inner circle. The inner circle has been a reformer for me as an
Mm.
individual, not even for people. You know, one of those days I told Antetima, by the way, Antetima was the very first person who registered for the inner circle. And shout out to you again, ma'am, for believing when there was nothing to believe. You know, and she just looked around and she just said, if your children are like this, so why not if not? Right? I'm going to go on this
Okay.
journey. And that is it. I remember when we started the masterpiece program and the team, I was in the house and we were both in my house. We were talking and I said, God told me to raise masterpiece women. And this is it. And she said, I'm inside. That's the only response she gave. She
Mm.
said, I'm inside. And it's such a beautiful thing to have not just someone who is a best friend, but someone who is a best impact worker. How do we describe it? Best impact, partner on the journey.
Partner.
So if you're listening to me, so please put flowers for my friend, Auntie
Yes.
Etima.
So
Please, she deserves all of the flowers, all, every single
thank
one of them.
you. Thank
And
you, coach.
not just flowers, she deserves every other thing. And of course, that Auntie Etima, you know that I love you. You
I
know that
love
I
you more,
love
coach.
you. And you
Thank
know
you for
that
switching roles in my life. Thank you for being nice and not so nice at other times. The last session we had, coach said when she was just done downloading, she now said, "You are welcome." This one, when I was going, I know she was not expecting a thank you. I so just say, "You're welcome. You're welcome, ma. You're welcome." Thank you so much,
And Auntie
everyone.
is the queen mother of the girls of. So
Yes,
I have the privilege of Auntie mentoring my daughter personally.
yes,
Privilege,
ma'am.
honored. There are, so many things that the friend will just go say, don't worry, I'll just talk to Auntie Etima. I said,
Mm,
duh, you can go on,
whatever.
whatever. I don't really care whether you talk to her right now and all of that. When the girls up was going to take off, she was just mentioning the girls. I said, better carry your daughter along because you are
Mm,
inside the girls' hub. And I'm like, daughter is going to be in the girls' hub forever. Until we
mm,
give her out in marriage and there will be girls that she will not deliver to Auntie Tima. If your daughter is not in the girls' hub, take her there. Trust me.
mm.
When I don't recommend because someone is my friend also. I recommend because you do the work. If you're close to me, you will know that I'm not one of those people where people don't do the work and I just come and shout your name. It's not by like that.
Are you guided?
Are you guided? Are you joking? No, I don't just recommend because people are close to me. No, I recommend because people do the work. Because I am for the work. And that's what is most important. Thank you again. Shout out to you, Yadis. And thank you, Auntie Tima.
Thank you, Coach Wendy, our Indaboski coach of all coaches, the roller coaster coach herself. So good to have you. So good to have you. The governor, we see you. Yes, the coach, your wife is the parenting coach, and she switches roles too, sir, right? I know. She switches from being baby to being the coach. And thank you, sir, for all the support. We see you. We see that you're the pillar, you're the strength, you're the solid support, you're the wisdom, you're the brain, you're the king, you're the so much more to Coach Wendy and the daddy to every one of us. Thank you, sir. We're looking forward to hopping on this ride with you, you and Coach Wendy, from tomorrow, 011223, 1st December 2023, and the arc moves. If you are
Yep.
not already there, I hope you will get to level 1Z. I've been saying it because when you get there, I don't know where else. I don't know. There's no letter for you again. You better find a way to get into this circle, into this community. And I'm going to just say that I hope you know that we are a community. We have built our own city. We have our city, we have our where our children will school, what they will do. We have the different academies, the girls hub, the boys academy. We have the tribe success academy. We have the mastermind. We have all these our settings. You see it, we have it too. When we want to do spiritual, we go to Coach Tony. When we want to do special needs, we go to Coach Omolola. We have our community. When we are done, we'll hand them over to the governor to help us package them for marriage. Then we'll marry each other. Then we will come back to do parenting already. My daughter has said that she's second generational TIP parent. So everything we need is in our city. Join us. Don't come and say, what are they feeling like? We were asking you if you used to come. You were analyzing. Join us. We will not give our children to non-TIP raised parents. We will not. Because marriage is not about two individuals, it's about families. So if my
Yep.
daughter is not going to go to another TIP family, she will not go. Self-preservation, we like our life.
Mm.
You will go to a TIP family so that when we say go to conclave, your father-in-law, mother-in-law will say, what is that? Who taught me? I don't want. I can't. That's my peace plan.
Mm.
In my 60s and 70s. I don't want chaos.
Your
So the
season of life.
I don't want that in that season of life when my husband's hair is shaved, his body of Allah sake, Allah is not nice. When my husband has bald head and me myself, I am in that season of my life. I want to be peaceful. So the system I've put in place, and I'm happy my daughter started saying it. You will be in an academy, from one academy to the other, to the other. That's how we do it here. That's the system because we love peace. Thank you so much. Somebody says we're building a community. Join the act now. Yes, join us. Because we will ask our in-laws, what's your favorite webinar? This question, our in-laws to answer it. When you come to marry, what's your favorite? Because you should have been there. What's your favorite? What's your favorite preaching? What's your favorite book? Don't come and say, what are you talking about? You are not among us. You are strange. And we will not go to bed with strange bedfellows. God said, yes, God said, you will not marry from amongst these people. All
Yep.
this love covers all things. I don't know those kind of scriptures. God has serious principle. We will not give our children in marriage to people that don't share our culture, to people that don't
Yep.
believe, that don't say the things we are saying. We will not do it because they are going to be living in trauma.
Mm.
And then we say we pray. Are we going to pray? There's a season of life where we'll be praising and living legacies, journaling and worshiping. That's what we'll be doing. We'll not be praying and sisting. No, 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 we'll not be doing that. Let us be going before webinar masterclass 2 will start. Please. Thank you so much, Coach. I know that the next few days is going to be really busy for you, but don't worry. We are praying, we are supporting. Anything you need, snap your finger, it's done. And we are here with all the support that you would even need. Before you think it, you will get it. Thank you. We love and appreciate you. And let me say thank you to everybody that has stayed for 2 hours, 2 minutes. God bless you. And this is where we sign off for the Intentional Parenting Journey 2023 edition. 90 days of sharing, of hearing, of learning, of rearranging our perceptions, our lifestyle, our choices. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to Coach for giving us your life. God bless you. We celebrate you, and we're looking forward to seeing you refreshed, renewed, and ready for the 2024 journey. God bless you, everybody. Thank you. I see you in the comment section. God bless you. Have a blessed day. Bye.
Thank you, Auntie Tima. And thank you, everybody.